Yo, what is up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Fearful, and today I am reacting to my Premier League 24-25 table predictions video. Oh boy, there's going to be a lot of bad predictions, I'm guessing. I'm going into this blindly. Let's see how bad I do.
Top, and then we're going to go down.
Alright, let's do it.
Starting with Arsenal. Third.
Okay. Wow, okay.
I have to say third so you don't think I'm putting them second. I think Arsenal were going to place third next season. Why do I think they're going to place third next season?
Yeah, please tell me.
Simply for the reason that Mikel Arteta is going to focus on Champions League. He's going to focus on the Champions League. That's what I think personally. He might not think about the Champions League, winning the Champions League, but I think he's going to focus on winning that. So I think Arsenal are going to place third next season.
Okay, not a bad prediction per se. Arsenal did finish second this season, 74 points. Mikel Arteta did kind of focus on the Champions League. He did get to the semi-final before getting knocked out by PSG 3-1 on aggregate. Yeah, not a bad prediction. Not a bad prediction, actually. Okay. Bournemouth next, I guess.
Moving on to Bournemouth. Bournemouth placed 12th last season, 48 points. And they had 13 wins, 9 draws, and 16 losses. And they had a minus 13 goal difference. Now, what does that have to do with anything? Well, seeing the fact that they don't score a lot of goals, and where they did place in the higher mid-table, just in the higher mid-table, I'm going to say they drop down into the lower mid-table.
Whoa!
I'm going to say that they're going to slack this season, especially if they don't get good signings.
Okay, we're gonna ignore that. We're gonna ignore that last bit. Wow. Okay. Well, that's definitely wrong. This season at Bournemouth finished. It's like me. I can't speak. Even 10 months ago, I couldn't speak. Can't speak the Queen's English even now. Bournemouth this season finished 9th. Definitely not in the lower mid-table. They did not struggle to score goals this season. They had a goal difference of 12, so they definitely improved. They finished on 56 points. Not a bad season whatsoever for Bournemouth. Wow. Okay, I'm sorry, Bournemouth fans. I definitely got this one wrong. Let's move on.
Moving on to Aston Villa. Aston Villa had a really good season. They finished 4th on 68 points. They've got Champions League football next season. But I tell you what, I think that they're going to... Yeah. I'm thinking between either 4th or 5th. I'm going to say 5th. I'm going to say Aston Villa plays 5th next season. Why? Same excuse. I think they might focus on... Actually, no. My bad. 4th. I'm going to say they completely ignore Champions League football. They'll compete in it a bit. However, they will mostly still focus on Prem football and try and get back into the Champions League again next season. So I'm going to say 4th for Aston Villa.
Okay. Well, I thought I was going to to get a decent prediction there. Um, Definitely didn't. Um, yeah. Still not far off. Aston Villa didn't really try in the Champions League, but they kind of did at the same time. As I said in this, they finished 6th on 66 points. They could have gotten Champions League football again. However, they'll be playing in the Europa League. So, yeah, not a bad prediction again. Not that far off. Okay, moving on to Brentford.
Brentford relegated.
Dear Lord.
Now, I know that sounds like, whoa, that's a big call, isn't it? Think about it. Who is the main player or player that is associated with Brentford? Ivan Toney. What does Ivan Toney want to do this season in the summer window? Leave. He wants to go to a bigger club. So, I think Ivan Toney leaves and Brentford go down. Simple as that.
Okay, I was completely wrong. I am sorry, Brentford fans. Wissa stepped up, and the other guy. Sorry. I'll put his name up on the screen and probably some pictures as well, because I'm gonna go through editing this, obviously. Wow. Yeah, I was completely wrong about this. Brentford getting relegated. No. In real life, they finished bang mid-table in 10th on 56 points. Not a bad season for Brentford. Well, actually, I say not a bad season, but a very typical season for Brentford. Very, very big of a stretch, to say the least, of a prediction from me. Wow, that is embarrassing. That is 2 now for Brentford and Bournemouth that I've gotten completely wrong. Okay, let's move on.
Brighton. It's a tricky one with Brighton. I'm going to say higher mid for Brighton. Why? Because Brighton always seem to linger between mid-table and lower mid-table. So, you know, not much to say there, is there?
Okay. Yeah, okay, just checking. Okay. Higher mid. Okay, so where I have Brighton right there, right now, as you can see in the video, in 8th, that is where they finished this season on 61 points. So if I keep Brighton at 8th, that is a correct prediction. But I have a feeling they're going to move down once I get to these other teams. Okay, next, who we saw is Chelsea.
Chelsea. Now, they finished 6th under Pochettino. Pochettino is now gone, obviously. But I still think Chelsea will get, like, 5th. I think Chelsea will get 5th next season under this new manager. That might be a bit of a stretch, but you never know what could happen. We've seen weirder things happen, like Aston Villa getting 4th in the Premier League.
Okay, that's me trying to be funny, I apologise. Again, not that far off, saying Chelsea will finish in 5th. Chelsea finished 4th this season on 69 points. So, I wasn't that far off again. So, there you go. Weren't that far off.
Crystal Palace. Now, this is a funny one, because I was going to rank Crystal Palace higher before Elise, before the pretty much confirmed statement by Fabrizio Romano that he's going to Bayern Munich. So where they're losing one of their best attacking players, and maybe Elise as well, I think that
I meant Eze there. That's my bad.
Crystal Palace are going to lower mid-table. And I'm actually going to say they're going to place lower than Bournemouth. I'm going to say they finished 14th.
Wow. Another very bold prediction by me. They finished 12th. So not that far off. However, they did win the FA Cup. Yes, this was a very interesting league this season. A very interesting season, not league. Yeah, let's just move on from that.
Everton. Okay, so we know that Everton are always like surviving relegation. But this season, if they didn't have their points deducted, they could have had European football. Which is crazy, isn't it? That is crazy to think. Everton in European football. No, I'm joking. In recent years, it's crazy to think. But so, I'm going to say that they place in the higher mid, actually. I'm going to say that they place 12th next season. Southampton.
Whoa, slow your roll there, buddy. Slow your roll there. Slow your roll. Not far off again. Everton finished 13th this season on 48 points. It did look like they were going to get relegated at the start of the season, but that's what it always looks like. Yeah, and then they just picked up again and got 13th. Comfortably safe from relegation. Moving on to Southampton.
They're staying up. They're going to be above Crystal Palace. They'll be, yeah, now that I think about it, they'll probably place 14th. Crystal Palace 15th. That might change as soon as I get to the rest here, but we'll find out.
Yes, we will find out. Wow, okay, I tipped Southampton to stay up. Sorry. What a bad decision by me. Southampton finished rock bottom of the table this season on 12 points. 2 wins, 30 losses and 6 draws. Yeah, they're now going down as probably one of the worst teams in Premier League history.
Fulham, they placed 13th last season. -6 goal difference. They thrashed us 5-0. That's a clue to who I support. Well, you're going to see who I support anyway when we get further down the line. Even though I think I've already made it clear who I support on the channel. Either way. It's a tricky one with Fulham. However, I want to say higher mid-table, but my gut is telling me lower mid-table. Ipswich.
Okay. Interesting again from me. Fulham in lower mid. Fulham actually finished 11th mid-table on 54 points. Just one of your average seasons. Moving on to Ipswich.
I'm sorry, Ipswich, but you're going down. I'm sorry. I would love to see you stay up, Ipswich. That would be great to see a different team in the league. But I think Ipswich are going down. I think you're going back now.
Yeah, I was right on this, and if Ipswich stay where they are, I got this prediction right as the same rules go with the Brighton one. Ipswich finished 19th on 22 points. Very unfortunate. They did have some good games, but in the end, unfortunately, it wasn't enough. And yeah, back down they go.
Not the same for Leicester City though. I'm going to say Leicester City finish above Fulham. I'm going to say Leicester finish above Fulham here. So
okay, I tipped Leicester to stay up as well with Southampton. That is false, to say the least. They have gone back down in 18th on 25 points. Nothing more to say about that. Apart from goodbye JB Vardy. And yeah.
Liverpool second. Liverpool are going to finish second. I have a feeling they're going to do quite well under this new manager. I have a feeling they're going to do quite well in the Champions League. I think Liverpool are going to put up a fight again like they did this season, but just not fall off towards the end.
Yeah, okay. A fair prediction. I don't think anybody thought of Liverpool winning the league this season on 84 points, 10 points clear of Arsenal, completely wiping the floor with the league in his first season, Arne Slot. Congratulations to Liverpool. Can they do it 2 seasons in a row? We'll find out, won't we?
Man City champions. I'm sorry. Of course, Man City are going to be champions. Who did you think I was going to put for champions?
You could have put Liverpool for champions, and then we would have got another prediction right. No, I don't think anybody expected, because we had become a bit of the league had become very predictable, with Man City winning 4 leagues in a row. Everybody thought they were going to win it for the 5th time, but no. Liverpool won the league this season, as previously mentioned, just literally a couple of seconds ago. And yes, moving on.
Right. Man United. Tricky one. They came 8th. I could just put them, and I'm going to actually put them here. Conference League football. Even though they're in the Europa League, because obviously they won was it the FA Cup? It was the FA Cup, wasn't it? Yeah. They did win the FA Cup. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to say 7th for Man United. They seem to be on a little down slope. They're keeping Ten Hag. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, oh, sorry. Again, I do apologise. Still got a bit of a cough. However, back to the topic at hand. I don't think anybody predicted this. Well, I think everybody knew that Ten Hag was going to get sacked eventually. After West Ham United beat Man United 2-1 at the London Stadium, Erik Ten Hag was then not immediately sacked after that, but the next day he was sacked. And that's if I remember that correctly. Man United in real life finished 15th on 42 points. Man United's worst season. Which is kind of funny, really. Moving on.
Newcastle slacked off, didn't they, from the previous season? They had Champions League football. I'm going to say Newcastle higher mid-table.
Okay, that is definitely a very poor prediction by me. Newcastle in real life finished 5th on 66 points. Yeah, definitely not in the higher mid-table. Yeah, definitely not.
Nottingham Forest relegated. I'm going to say Nottingham Forest get relegated.
Okay, now, nobody expected Nottingham Forest to pull off the season that they did. Everybody was, including myself, obviously, as you all can see here, was voting for them to get relegated. I don't know why I put them bottom, but I did, and they proved me wrong. They could have qualified for Champions League football, however, they mucked up. They finished this season, they finished 7th with 65 points. If they had won one more game, they would be playing Champions League football. Yeah, nothing else to say there, let's move on.
Tottenham, they're going to finish 6th. Why 6th? Because they finished 5th this season. And I feel like they might try and be competitive in the... Oh, excuse me. I apologise. I have a feeling they might try and be competitive in the Europa League.
Okay, to be fair, I would have preferred this, other than what actually happened. In real life, Spurs finished 17th, but they won the Europa League. Long pause for dramatic effect. Yeah, nothing else I could say about that. Let's move on quickly.
West Ham United.
Irons!
Yeah. Now I'm going to say higher mid-table for West
Oh yeah, we wish.
Ham. Already got 2 players in. I know the second player was a third choice goalkeeper. But even
Okay, I'm going to skip the rest of this. Simply for the fact we finished 14th in the league this season on 43 points. Lopetegui was sacked after very poor performances and very poor results. Graham Potter has been brought in as the new head coach or manager, however you want to say it. And yeah, hopefully we can do better next season under Graham Potter. That's all I can say to that.
So 8, 9, 10, 11, and then of course Wolves. I think Wolves are going to finish in the higher mid-table. As per usual, I think they're going to finish above Brighton this time. I think.
Okay, and the final result ends with me saying Wolves will finish 10th. In real life, they finished 16th on 42 points. Okay. So I only got one prediction right, which was Ipswich. Yeah, nobody expected Nottingham Forest doing as well as they did at the start of the season, but then they fell off, not being able to get points. Poor seasons from Leicester and Ipswich, getting them relegated, even though everybody and Southampton as well. Probably one of the strangest seasons I've ever seen. But I would like to thank you all so much for washing. Yeah, thank you for doing your washing today, by the way. But I would like to thank you all so much for watching. Definitely go and smash that like button if you want to see more of this type of content. And I hope to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everyone.